Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Putri Dewi Lestari and I am from class 2021, class A, Mula Warman University. And then today in this video, I will present our group work in the task 1. Task 1, okay. For the number 1, what are the main characteristics that all languages have in common? First, our natural languages have biologically characteristic or phylogeny that influence their communicative abilities, such as the genetic or biological characteristic of the species. And then the second is maturational characteristic or autogeny of an individuals also play a role in language development. For example, language ability tend to improve with age, as 12 years old is typically more advanced in language acquisition and usage compared to a 12-month old, reflecting the influence of the maturation and developmental stage on language development. And then the last is culture or environment in which individuals are exposed to language also influence their language skills. Children in highly interactive households are likely to have greater language ability than children from less interactive households. Number 2, give an example of a descriptive rule of grammar, also perspective rule. For descriptive rule, define that the language used by speakers in a specific environment or community. They seek to reflect language natural patterns and structure without passing judgment on accuracy or appropriateness. And then for the perspective rule, specify how language should be used based on specific standard or authorities. So for descriptive rules, the language as it is, explain the language as it is, whereas perspective rules specify how it should be used in accordance with established norms or standard. And then the number 3, describe 3 aspects of the form that grammars govern. Give an example of each. Okay. So first, phonologically aspect of language involve the sound and pronunciation of words. For example, when the letter S appears at the beginning of a word, it pronounced as the sound S. This sound is a voiceless alveolar fricative. For example, sun, sit. And then morphologically aspect involve the structure and formation of words. For example, in English, the morphological rule govern the formation of plurals. And for example, adding S or ES at the end, such as cats, boxes. And then the last is syntactic aspect. Involve the arrangement and combination of words to form meaningful sentence. For example, such as subject, verb, object, or subject, object, verb. C, subject, its verb, an apple, object. Number 4, give an example of recursion. Describe evidence suggesting that some languages lack recursion. Okay, for the example, when a sentence contains a clause that reverts back to the main clause, for example, I know that she knows that he likes ice cream. The clause that she knows that he likes ice cream is recursive because it reverts back to the main clause, I know. And the evidence of lack of recursion in some languages such as Piranha have been suggested that to lack recursion. This is based on the observation that Piranha does not have embedded clauses or recursive structure in its grammar. Number 5, how do continuity and discontinuity hypotheses differ? What evidence can you present for each hypothesis? Is there any evidence that calls either of them into question? Which hypothesis do you favor and why? For the continuity and discontinuity hypothesis, the continuity hypothesis suggests that language evolution is a gradual process, with modern language having evolved from earlier forms through small incremental change. In contrast, the discontinuity hypothesis proposed that language emerged suddenly and uniquely in humans, setting them apart from other species. And then for the evidence continuity hypothesis, include the similarities between human language and communication system observed in other animals, such as the use of gesture and vocalization for social interaction. And evidence for this continuity hypothesis include the unique features of human language, such as complexity, productivity, and the ability to convey abstract concepts. These features are not found in other animal communication systems. And then evidence that challenging both hypotheses, such as lack of a clear fossil record for language evolution and the difficulty in determining the language's abilities of extinct hominin species. And then, which hypothesis do you favor and why? Our group just continuity hypothesis, proposing that language eventually emerged from pre-existing cognitive capacities for the following reason, backed up by data from research comparing human and non-human animal cognitive and linguistic capacities, in line with finding that children acquire language gradually. Number 6, what kind of linguistic skills do not human primates have? Should we think of them as knowing language? Okay. Non-human primates, especially large apes such as chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, and orangutans, demonstrate sophisticated vocalization, hand gesture, and limited symbolic communication like textogram or sign language. They can grab some symbol and communicate fundamental ideas, but they are not able to communicate with the same depth of meaning, recursion, or grammatical complexity as human language. Even though they have certain language skills, most experts do not believe that they know language in the same way that humans do, because they are essentially different from human language abilities. So, however, research on non-human primate communication offers important insight into the development of language and the cognitive underpinnings of interspecies communication. Number 7, what is the relationship between language and thought? Describe evidence suggesting that general thinking abilities and language involve distinct sets of mental skills. Describe evidence suggesting that language influences the way humans think. Although language and thought are closely intertwined, they are not entirely synonymous. Language serves as a tool for expressing and communicating thought, but there is evidence suggesting that general cognitive abilities and language encompass separate mental skills. An illustration of this is observation that individuals with diverse linguistic backgrounds may process varying degrees of cognitive abilities and abstract reasoning abilities, impacting their problem-solving and critical thinking skill. For the evidence, first is distinct set of mental skill. Research on bilingualism suggests that proficiency in multiple languages does not necessarily equate to equal competence in both languages, especially in tasks requiring advanced cognitive process. The second is influence of language on thought. Abundant evidence support the idea that language shapes human thought process. For example, speakers of different languages conceptualize time differently based on the grammatical structure of their native tongue. Additionally, cultural factors influencing language usage and mold individuals' perception of reality and decision-making process. For instance, the German language uses three distinct words, Leben, Frieden, and Bekanntschaft, to convey various forms of affection, while English relies on just one term, love. In conclusion, while language and so are share complex relationship, or compelling evidence suggests that general cognitive abilities and language involve separate mental skills. Additionally, language significantly shape human thought process, impacting the way individuals perceive and analyze information. The last question, are there some things that you can do if your language lacks the proper vocabulary? Of course, yes. First is contextual clue. Try to use another similar word that still have the same meaning with the actual word. And then synonym word and facial or hand gesture. That's it for me. Thank you.